started. Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-legged position. Feel that you're sitting evenly. That's always the priority, to just observe the feeling right from the start. So just spend a moment just settling yourself on your cushion. Hold on to your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders consciously down to the floor. Listen to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. And look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. 6 feet or so away from where you're sitting, so that your eyes can rest in the sockets. Just focus on levelness at the hips and adjust if there is unlevelness. And evenness of the breath. Fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. Lengthen from the armpits into the elbows to give you space. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just spend a little time observing how your body is feeling right now. So are there areas of the body that are a bit achy, perhaps from exercise or from repetitive movement? How is your breath? Can you freely take deep inhalations, or do you consciously need to release the intercostal muscles between the ribs to accommodate a deep inhalation? Aim to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top and empty them from the top to the bottom. Relaxing the intercostal muscles between the ribs as you inhale. Aiming for non-resistant inhalations. Non-resistant inhalations bring in more energy to the body. Draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, a gesture of wisdom, peacefulness, and physical intelligence that we can bring into our practice as an intention. Dress in our practice with peaceful intention, but addressing our practice with observation, which leads to activation through physical observation, physical intelligence. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and then hold onto your knees. Elevate the heart area upwards, almost like the torso wants to leave the hips behind. Take a really good non-resistant inhalation and then turn to the right side. Draw in your abdomen across. Draw in your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Using the out breath to intensify the turn. Come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Draw in your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation. And then turn to the left. Just draw in your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders. And then come back to the center. Come off your lift and then come down onto your knees for Adho Mukha Virasana. Just sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels, feeling how the shins make contact with the floor. And working to consciously push the shin bone into the shin skin, into the flesh. The shin bone into the muscle and into the flesh. Lift it up into the chest and then come forwards. Lengthening forwards, spreading the fingers, spreading the palms. Keeping the seat bones down on the heel. Lengthening your arms away and then bring your forehead down. Lengthen the seat bones down towards the heels. Lengthen from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms. Just listen to the breath. Just work to keep the seat bones down on the heels. Raise your head and then come up onto the fingertips. Come up onto the fingertips, lengthening the chin and the chest forwards. And then lengthen, bring your arms over to the right side. Try and keep the seat bones down. Be on fingertips. Keep the head lifted. Stretch into that left side of the body. Lengthening that left side. Keep the seat bones down. Lengthening to the right side as well. But you'll feel the more intense stretch at the left side of the body. It feels good. Gives you energy into the torso. And then walk your hands back to the center, and then just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath, pressing the seat bones down onto the heels, lengthening into the arms. Just come up onto your fingertips, lift your head, and then walk yourself over to the left. Again, feeling that tremendous stretch along the right side of the torso. Just really waking up the body, feeling that you can extend into both arms, but that right side, feels really deep and intense. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Extending the spine away, trying to keep the seat bones down. They probably won't stay down, but aim to do that. And then bring the hands back to the center, and then just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana, just stretching the arms away. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Keep your right hand where it is, and then thread your left arm underneath the right armpit, and then bring the left shoulder down if you can. Bring your head down, and then really forcefully press that left arm deeply into the floor. Keep reaching into that right arm, and then rolling the chest down to face the floor so that you prise open the shoulder blades. The more you work both arms, the more you get out of the pose. The more you lengthen into that right arm, the more you press that left arm into the floor. The more you open up the armpits. But again, working with peacefulness, with ahimsa, non-violence. And then stretch your arms forwards again, just coming back into Adho Mukha Virasana. And then lift the head. This time thread the right arm underneath the left armpit. Bring that right shoulder down if you can. Bring the head down if you can. And then press that right arm firmly into the floor. Rolling the chest down to the floor. So pressing the right arm deeply into the floor to prise open the shoulder blades. Keep that left arm firmly activated as well. So threading the needle. Okay, and then just one more time, come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. And then just rest your head into the floor, and then bring your arms to the sides of the body in the classic child's pose. So if it becomes too heavy on your head, then consciously lengthen from your shoulders into the fingertips, just to distribute that weight a little more. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Push your hands into the floor and then sit yourself up. Sit back on your heels, and we're going to do our parivitanasana variation. So just go forward a little bit. From Virasana, reach back behind you. Have the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Fingers pointing towards the knees. Press the palms consciously into the floor. Press the palms into the floor, and then lift from the wrists and up into the armpits. The wrists and up into the armpits. Now that might be as far as you go. If you've got a bad back, you might just want to stay here. Otherwise, you can start lengthening the buttock flesh down towards the backs of the knees. Turning the tailbone in, lengthening the sacrum away from the spine so that the thighs activate. And then you might want to push the shins into the floor and lift the seat bones up, away from the heels, and then lengthen into your chin. Keep lengthening into the toes, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. And then come back down onto your seat bones and then back onto your knees. Observe how you have opened up the energy of the arms and the shoulders and the torso and the head. Just breathe in deep inhalations and exhalations, listening to the breath. Come up onto your knees, have your little fingers on the edge of the mat, stretch the thumbs towards each other. Spread the palms, step back a little, turn your toes under. Make sure that your toes are on the edge of the mat. Feel that they're on the edge of the mat. And then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tighten the kneecaps. Press the fronts of the thighs up towards the top of the leg and press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Feel the backs of the legs opening up. Let your head hang down. Press the palms into the floor. Lift the seat bones. So this pose is really beneficial for many things. It helps to strengthen the arms and the shoulders and brings concentration into the legs. But it's also really beneficial for the liver. It's a kind of inversion. So it's a good, there's some good immune boosting benefits. If I'm holding you in the pose for too long, then just release. But the more that you activate the legs, the more that you press the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees, the more you will find your lightness within the effort. Keep the hands where they are. Keep your feet where they are. Swing the hips forwards. Keep the arms straight and come up into dog. Up. Pushing into the heels. Drawing the abdomen forwards, lifting the abdomen up to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin, turning the crease of the elbows forwards. Lifting up into the chest, pushing into the heels, lengthening the abdomen forward. Up towards the chest. And then come back up into dog down. So there's always something weird that you go up into dog. So you go down into dog up and up into dog down. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. If you've got a problem with your back, and you feel that forward bending is typically aggravating for it, then you can come forward onto blocks like this. Otherwise, we're going to go into full uttanasana. It doesn't matter if you do half uttanasana, just do what is right for your back. Have the toes in line with each other in front of you. Have the hands on the hips, and then feel that your heels are in line with the edge of the mat. Tighten your kneecaps. Tighten your kneecaps and turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Raise your arms up. Bring the thumb into the crease of the elbow. Wrap your fingers around your elbows. Keep the back straight as you hinge at the hips. If you're doing half uttanasana, release the arms, reach down to the blocks. Otherwise, keep coming forwards, keeping those legs straight, and then allow the top of the body to hang down, but keep the legs deeply extending upwards. So the direction of the pose, for the legs at least, is up, reaching out of the feet, lifting the shins away from the feet, lifting the thighs away from the feet, lifting the kneecaps away from the feet.
pressing the fronts of the legs into the backs of the legs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. So the more you activate the legs, the more you can release in the spine and extend into the spine, the more you can bring the upper body down towards the floor. Hit your legs back so that you feel your weight go into your heels, into the center of the heels. Keep turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lifting the legs out of the feet, up into the hip socket. Releasing the spine down to the floor. Okay. Release your hands down to the floor. Just come into half uttanasana initially. If you can't reach the floor, if you haven't got blocks, then you bring your hands onto the thigh, onto the shins. Okay, and then bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into a standing position. Move the blocks out of the way if they're there, and then come up into tadasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just focusing on the feeling of your energy. So that was a long limbering sequence, but it really brings the body to life. Sometimes all you need is a limbering sequence. If you want to practice some yoga on your own, just that limbering sequence alone will plenty to extend the body, the energy of the body. Bring your arms out nice and wide in toward your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. So nice and wide with your legs. So the left toes in and the right leg and foot all the way out. So I think everyone here was either here yesterday or the day before, and we were using that belt behind the back and extending the arms outwards. So feel like you've got the belt and you're extending the arms from the heart area into the arms. It's like you're pulling the belt really tightly behind the back. If you can't get that action, then grab your belt and use it to activate it. Turn the front of the thigh consciously inwards. Keep the arms really activated. Keep the legs really straight, especially that back leg. And then keep activating those arms. Reach down, find the shin, and look up. So this pose will help to clear out the sinuses. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listen to the breath. Feel where your feet are. Feel where your feet are, especially that right foot. And then squeeze the front leg buttock bone forward so that your buttock bone is in line with the heel, not towards the back of the room. Hit that back leg to the wall behind you. Keep extending evenly into both arms like you got hold of the belt. Reach up, come back to the center. Swap the feet around, keep the arms outstretched if you can, keep pulling on that imaginary belt. Just keeping the arms taut. Straighten the legs, turn this front leg all the way out. And then keeping the arms extending evenly like you're holding onto the belt. Come down, find the shin, but be relatively light on the shin, but definitely make contact. Look up if you can, and just observe and acknowledge. Pose in 3 dimensions, from the feet into the legs, into the hips, into the spine, If you want, you can look down, just make sure that your head is in line with the foot. If it's not, then lift the chest a little more, squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little more. And then reach up, come back to the center, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together, come back into Tadasana. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Bring your arms out nice and wide. Again, stretching that imaginary belt. So it's like you've got hold of the belt and you're trying to tear it apart behind the neck, behind the back. Bring the arms into the chest and then step or jump. Go wide. Go as wide apart with your legs as you can for prasarita, padottanasana. And just line up the edge of your heel with the edge of the mat. Then you know that your feet are in line. Just have your hands on your hips for a moment and then turn your toes in. So nice and wide with the legs. Tighten your kneecaps and then lift from the abdomen up to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin, winging the elbows towards each other. And then keep the head lifted, keep the chest lifted, and then come forwards, hinging at the hips. If you can't reach the floor, then use blocks underneath your hands. Otherwise, reach down to the floor. But either way, whether you're on blocks or on the floor, be on fingertips, not the heels of the hands. Turn the crease of the elbows to face the front. Push the legs towards the back of the room. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs in and then lift the seat bones and project the chin and the chest forwards. So we're working to straighten the back. So if you're still working on straightening the back, then stay at this stage and keep lifting from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone to the chin. Otherwise, hinge at the hips, keep the back straight, and then bring the head down to the floor. If the head doesn't reach the floor, put a block underneath your head. Bring the heel of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. Lengthen the shoulders away from the ears, in whichever version of the pose you're doing. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Press the hands into the floor, and although you're not bringing them forwards, it's press the hands into the floor like you're trying to slide them forward to the sides of your head. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listen to the breath. If you want, you can reach around the outsides of the ankles, but don't bring weight onto your head. Hit the legs back so that your weight is in your heels and it's light on your head. Okay, walk your hands forwards. Come back to the center. Bring the palms down onto the floor, bend your knees, and then step or jump your feet back together, and then come back into Tadasana. And then just be in Tadasana, and then raise your arms up, urdhva hastasana. So raise your arms up. Ideally have the arms parallel to each other. I went out ceiling height a little, so mine are a little bit wider apart. But get the arms straight. So if you can't straighten your arms, bring your arms wider. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Keep the legs pressing into the floor, but grow out of the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs. Tuck the tailbone in. Draw the abdomen to the spine. Draw the lower ribs to the spine. Lift the heart area to the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. Palms facing each other. And then gently release. Just come down onto your back and into supta padottanasana. So come down onto your back. Have the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall apart. Rest your hands on your lower ribs. Just breathe even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Focusing on the sound of the inhalation, the sound of the exhalation. Sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Raise your arms up to the ceiling, interlock the fingers right into the webbing of the hands, and then turn the palms all the way out. Squeeze the outer elbows in. And then lengthen your arms along the floor. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks on the outsides of the thighs. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, you can put a folded blanket or some blocks underneath your hands just to support your shoulders. Otherwise, just use the straight line of the floor. Soften the intercostal muscles between the ribs to encourage a non-resistant inhalation. Feeling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Just raise your arms up to the ceiling. Swap the interlock of the fingers so that the other index finger is on the top of the stack. Turn palms outwards, squeeze the outer elbows in, and then again lengthen your arms along the floor. And then release your arms. Just release your arms and rest your hands on your lower ribs. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. And then draw your knees together, have your knees together, your feet apart, just pressing your knees together. Listen to the breath. Listen to the inhalation and the exhalation. And then we're going to get hold of the shins, pull the shins as close to the feet as you can. And then bring the right knee in towards the chest. Just lock the fingers around the front of the knee and pull that knee in towards the chest. Keep the left foot where it is. So we're going to do supta kapotasana, the reclining pigeon pose. So pull that knee in towards the chest. And then get hold of the shin with the left hand and then cross that right foot across the top of the left top of the left thigh. Take hold of that right foot with the left hand and then just gently extend the knee away from the body towards the wall, away from the body. Just opening up the front of the hip. And then just release that knee. Keep hold of the left foot. Just let that right knee just relax, pointing up to the ceiling. If you can, bring your heel of that right foot into the inner pelvic bone of the left side. But wherever that foot will go, will work. And then you're going to bring your left knee in towards the chest, grip around the back of the left knee, and then draw that left knee in towards the chest. Just feel that stretch in the glutes and the hamstrings on the right side. Lengthen the tailbone down to the floor. Pull the knee in towards the chest. Keep lengthening the tailbone down to the floor to intensify that stretch. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Now if the foot is in the inner pelvis, then you get a little abdominal massage with that foot as well. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just gently release. We're going to do it one more time on this side. But if the foot was in the right at the top of the thigh, then sometimes it's nice to just let that leg come up the thigh a little and then reach underneath that leg and then just pull the knee back in. You just get a deeper stretch in the upper hamstrings. It can be quite strong on your knee though, so just be gentle, be observant, keep the tailbone stretching down towards the floor. Just enjoying that stretch, that intense stretch. Okay, and then release the leg. Just bring the foot back down onto the floor. Keep the knees bent, and then bring the right leg down onto the floor. Keep the feet as close to the seat bones as you can. So just shuffle into the feet if you can, if your feet aren't close. Just use the floor just to align yourself initially. And then get hold of the front of the left knee and then pull that into the chest. Pull the left knee into the chest, flex the heel, lengthen the tailbone down to the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. And then bring that left foot into over the top of the right thigh. Bring the heel into the inner pelvic bone on that right side if you can. And then just lengthen that left knee away from the body, just being mindful of your knee. If there's any discomfort, then just soften. And then just relax that knee, let the knee point up to the ceiling. Keep the foot at the top of the thigh and then reach behind the right knee and then draw that right knee in towards the chest. Lengthen the tailbone down to the floor. Draw that right knee into the chest, just feeling the stretch of the glutes and the hamstrings on the left side. Keeping the tailbone down. Just enjoying that stretch. And then you can release, you can bring the foot a little higher up the thigh, reaching underneath the shin. And then just draw that knee into the chest. That right knee into the chest. Lengthening into the tailbone, just feeling the hamstrings and the glutes really stretch out. So this is a really good pose. If you get lower back pain, this is a really good way of just stretching it out safely. Obviously you have to work with observation, just listen to the body, respect it, rather than punish it. Okay, and then gently release, just bring the legs back down to the floor and then let the feet fall, let the knees fall back into supta baddha. So there should be a different feeling in the hips. Maybe your supta baddha feels different. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then draw your knees together. Again, bring the feet as close to the seat bones as you can. Have the feet together and the knees together. And then just stretch your arms out to the side. Just stretch them out so that they're in line with your shoulders, palms facing upwards. Keep the knees together, the feet together. And we're going to keep the knees and the feet clamped together. And we're going to, in a moment, we're going to bring the knees over to the right side for jathara parivitanasana. But as you bring the knees over, you're going to keep the knees clamped and the feet clamped. So the right foot will stay on the floor, the left foot will lift off the floor. But keep the feet together. Okay, take a deep inhalation and then bring the knees over to the right side. Draw the abdomen from the left to the right and then look over the left arm, look over the left hand. So bringing the knees over to the side, keeping the knees together, the feet together, drawing the abdomen from the right to the left. So drawing the abdomen in the opposite direction. So a nice, gentle spinal twist. And then come back to the center. Just reset in the middle. Just make sure the feet are together, the knees are together, and then bring the knees over to the left. Rotate the abdomen from the left to the right, so from the opposite direction from the knees. Look over the right arm. Just keeping the knees together, the feet together, clamping those knees together, drawing the abdomen consciously in away from the knees, from the left to the right. Breathing into the pose. Okay, and then bringing the knees back to the center. And then pulling your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. Just really ironing out any remaining creases in the muscles, just any tensions, you just work into the floor. And then we're going to come into Setu Bandha, or if you don't want to do Setu Bandha, you could just get hold of the sides of the mat and stretch the legs up to the ceiling. Actually, this feels really good. Let's just do viparita karanhi. This feels really nice after what we have just done. So just holding onto the edges of the mat and lifting the legs to the ceiling. If you struggle to lift your legs, you can put a bolster underneath your back, your lower, underneath your hips, or you can put a block underneath your hips. Keep lengthening into the tailbone, lengthening the legs up to the ceiling. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Keeping those intercostal muscles around the ribs relaxing as you inhale, just to encourage full, deep, non-resistant inhalations. Bring in deeper energy into the body and the mind. Okay, and then gently bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor. And then roll onto your side, push yourself up into a seated position for a moment, and then get your folded blanket. And then just release yourself down into a good straight line right down the centre of your mat. Have the folded blanket underneath the back of the neck and the head. Let the feet fall apart, let the arms completely collapse into the floor. Let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. So that the body becomes heavy on the ground. Allowing the body to become heavy on the ground. At the same time as feeling heavy in the limbs, observe that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones, irrepressibly radiating into the muscles. Good, pure, positive energy that radiates from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Radiating into the organs and into the flesh and the skin, which of course are organs. They're the external organs. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes and into the fingertips and all the way up into the top of the head. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in toward your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just the final cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. To people, to places, to things that need our positive energy. Release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger in together with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry with us into our day as an intention. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel really light and energized, and maybe there's good kind of movement around your lower back. So thank you very much for joining me.